There you go. Nice and get from there. 2 more minutes. There you go. Nice and get from there. 2 more minutes.
What's good, family? So smash the like button, subscribe and lick off the bell. So we just saw there Anthony Johnson smashing the pads. Now some of you might have been coming at me saying, oh, why be a turncoat, and why be, you said there was some good news or some half sharp videos coming soon. Well, here it is for you, man. Yeah, you Johnson fans can get your wick out and, you know what I'm saying, have a good stroke to this video. But now, on a serious note, listen. As far as observations go, this ain't bad, is it? I've done videos in the past of Johnson making certain technical errors. This is, as far as Johnson's training goes, this is positive. Yeah? I'm not going to lie to you. This is not bad. Now, listen, I'm going to I have to put a bit of an asterisk, because I've got more videos coming soon, which show that this isn't consistently the theme, if you get what I'm saying. I've got videos later on in the month where you'll see Johnson loading up in training and you'll see him doing other funny style stuff. So I'm just saying that, am I going to sit here and tell you that, oh yeah, let's go all in, let's get all the coins out the bank and put it on Johnson? Absolutely not. But as far as this video goes, as far as this clip goes, it's not bad. It's good to see the aggression and whatever else, but really, I mean, again, we could, if we want to be Johnson fangirls, we can all get our wicks out and have a good stroke. But in reality, people, guess what? He was hitting the pads just like this before the Usyk fight. Do you really think that, oh, but YB, no, he was fanning around all in... No, of course he was. Of course he was banging the pads. I've got videos of it. I've got videos of Johnson smashing the pads and smashing the bag before the Usyk fight. In fact, I remember doing a video on it. I remember AJ doing some combination on the bag and doing a video before the Usyk fight saying, oh look, maybe he wants to be aggressive. So really, what I'm getting at is, whilst I'm trying to be positive, the point is, the proof is in the pudding, people. Bottom line, we're not going to know until it's right in front of us. And anyone who tells you any differently, as I've been saying, don't sit there just talking, woofing about turncoat. Oh, you're a turncoat, YB. I tell you what to do. And what I find quite interesting, yeah, I put a challenge out. I said, all you AJ fans talking about turncoat and talking about Judas, don't stop woofing, yeah, and just send the receipt. Just send a snapshot. Post a snapshot in the comment section of you, man, with your big bets up, with your big, innit? Show us, man, your big man, AJ versus Usyk 2 bets. That's what you want to see. Because if you ain't putting no coins up, you're just woofing. Yeah? You ain't serious. Because really, yeah, if you ain't putting coins up for this rematch, you're as good as a turncoat anyway. You know what I'm saying? I don't get that. Oh, you're a turncoat, but I'm not going to put no coins up either. Me, I back what I'm saying. Oops. You, man, just woof. Yeah? Before the Usyk fight, I told you Usyk's useless, and I put the coins up. After the Usyk fight, I tell you, Johnson useless, ain't no coins going up. You, man, no. Oh, no, what it be? I'm a ride or die. Well, where your coins at? Oh, well, you know, the thing is, you still got some bills to pay. What? I thought it was a cert, innit? Because in my mind, the reason I always use coins to back my opinions is because if I'm 100% certain, it doesn't, like, you can't be 100% certain of something and not put coins up. It's free money. And that's why, right or wrong, I always have to put coins up, because I believe what I'm saying. Otherwise, you just woof. And that's the problem with you AJ fans, you're woofing. You ain't serious. You just talk. Yeah? Because not one of you man got no coins in, you know what I'm saying? Not one of you man, oh, I'm AJ, I'm ride or die. You're not ride or die. You're ride or woof, is what you are. Yeah, just talking. 100%. But listen, I mean, what can I say about this? Listen, I mean, yeah, his defense look alright, but that's the thing. Unless I'm in the camp, I ain't gonna bet on nothing. How about that? Because this guy Alonso, he's been that trainer we're seeing with him now. This Alonso cat, Fernandez cat. Yeah, that's the one. That's the trainer who's been leading these kind of sessions. And that cat, he was one of the key funny style dudes. Do you understand? He was the key one who made AJ shit his pants in the Ruiz rematch. So it begs the question for me that, well, so all of a sudden you want me to believe because you've seen a few training videos of him banging. And don't forget, people, boxing's a pretty one-dimensional sport. You can't not hit the bag and pads hard, can you? Let's be real now. Who can't thrash the pads and bag? And the reason that's relevant is to say that, well, to watch this video and say, oh look, he's gonna go in there and march forward. Again, AJ has been consistently smashing pads in the Ruiz rematch. Before the Ruiz rematch, AJ would have been smashing pads. Before the Usyk fight, AJ would have been smashing pads. And guess what? In both of them fights, he went from smashing pads in training to his back end flapping all 12 rounds. And that's what I've been telling you, man, about. AJ so far, all AJ's proven is that he's a gym fighter. He can look aggressive in the gym when there's nothing coming back. And I did a video the other day showing AJ scared of his own shadow in front of a Coley, which shows that, or implies, not shows, I'm not going to, again, I'd be disingenuous if I told you that the 10-second clip absolutely confirms that his back end's flapping. It doesn't. But it's an implication. It's an implication that the minute AJ gets in front of someone, you know what I'm saying? And I hate to say it, but never mind the training. We've seen this in reality. I've seen him in there with people who really understand boxing, yeah. Watch the Pulev fight. And what you need to do is go back and watch AJ, yeah, versus Takam, versus Parker, versus Brazil. All these guys who are really similar level to Pulev, if not better. Watch how AJ fought them. He seldomly took a back step. The whole night coming forward. The whole night backing his opponent up. The whole night looking for trouble. Dillian White fight, another example. Compare that, watch that fight yet, and compare it to the Pulev fight. Compare it to the Ruiz rematch. AJ is the first one out the back door. AJ was one of the first fighters to make Pulev look aggressive. Yeah? These habits cannot be resolved with a few pad sessions, which we know that's not the issue. I've been saying for the longest time, AJ being able to smash the pads has never been a problem. That's never been it. You've never heard me say, no, AJ needs to smash the bag and pad some more. I know he can do that. Who can't do that? I could do that. Smashing pads and converting that to a completely sound and do-or-die mindset is two different things. Does Fernando Alonso, his head trainer, who he's smashing the pads with now, does he know what it takes? I don't believe AJ's team know what they don't know. I don't think they do. And it shows on Fight Night. That shows AJ's team on Fight Night against Usyk shows you their limitations. Yeah, not one of them, out of the whole 20, 30 man team, not one of them said, maybe we should try applying some pressure here. No, they all said, that's it, keep shitting your pants some more. That'll work. Oh, we're losing. We're losing because we're shitting our pants. Well, I'll tell you what to do. Shit some more, AJ. You're not scared enough. See if you can run away. You know what I'm saying? 100%. Rob McCrappen said to AJ, you're losing because you're running around. Try run a bit more. Yeah? Try run a bit faster. You're not running fast enough, is what Rob McCrappen said. He said, AJ, you're not light on your feet enough. Make sure you back out some more. 100%. And you want me to believe that these trainers who have got the same habits, they haven't changed, have they? What? I don't get that. This AJ's training team who have showed they are completely inept. You want me to believe that overnight they've just magically got the way it takes? Sorry, I don't believe it myself. I don't. That's the bottom line for me. And there's no amount of AJ smashing the pads going to change that. Because again, all you people who disagree with me, what you need to do is explain to me how he was smashing the pads before. And that, you know, innit, think about it. If it's about pads, if it's about hitting the bag and pads, alright, if it's about looking good on the pads and bag, why didn't that translate? Why was he scared of his own shadow in all of these fights recently? I know why. The whole environment's off. Yeah, no one's really sat him down and told him it's going to be a hard night's work. And I go back to what George Kambosos said. George Kambosos literally sat his kids down and his wife down and said, going into the Teofimo rematch, when George Kambosos, was a 20-1 underdog against the newly crowned, undisputed 135 champion Teofimo Lopez. Kambosos sat his wife down and gave her a verbal plan of what to do if he doesn't make it out of this fight. Do you think AJ sat down and told his family going into the Usyk fight that he might not be coming back? I don't think he did. Yeah? Not even a bit. And that's the point here. That is really the crux of it. What mind state are you and your team in? And I already know the answer to the question because you're in Dubai. Yeah, you're in Dubai. You got the kids out there. It's all a bit loosey goosey. You got Floyd Mayweather out there and this trainer, that trainer, all of the trainer. You ain't serious. I already know. You're partying on January 16th, and I had AJ fans tell me, "Oh no, YB, he's partying, but it's still 3 months away." It's not the point. You ain't comfortable. You ain't earned the right to party. What's wrong with you people? What do you think this is? A big holiday? You're right, you do. Yeah, they do think it is a big holiday. And that's my point. They ain't in the right mode. And again, there's no amount of smashing pads is going to get you into that mode. It takes time. And it takes consistency. And it takes the right path. You have to know where you're going to get into that mode. Think about it. Imagine the mindset you have to be in to sit your wife down the day before a fight and tell her that you might not be coming back. Imagine it. I'll tell you how you don't get into that mindset. You don't get into that mindset by partying in Dubai on January 16th. That's how you don't get into the mindset. Oh, but why? That's the thing. For years, I've been saying things like this, and people have told me, YB, he can flick the switch. He knows how to go from soft to a killer. And I allowed it. I allowed it because in the past, in the Klitschko fight and whatnot, to some extent, he has been able to flick the switch. But in the recent years, there's been no flick switching. And that was inevitably going to happen. These things, everything's a muscle. Everything must be worked. If you don't train your mind, it gets weak. Bottom line. If you're not used to flicking the switch, if you're not used to going into hammer mode, you're going to lose it. So the question is AJ's team training his mind to get into that place? Can I sit here and tell you it's not happening? I can't guarantee it. I'm 99% sure it ain't. I understand. Because think about it. If he was in that mindset, one of the last things on his mind, would be flying the kids out to have a big party. That's in my opinion. In my opinion, that can wait. Yeah? If I was in the camp, there ain't no kids. If you want kids out, I'll stay at home and you can keep your crap team around you who are just going to have all this fraternising going on. Don't work. Not for this camp. Yeah? When you're winning and you're shit hot and you're shit ferocious, if you want to fly some kids out, if you want to fly the kids out and party, so be it. But at this particular point in time, after an embarrassing loss, you need to, you know what I'm saying? You need to stay on point and get the job done and then worry about partying in Dubai with the kids. That's my opinion. And it shows nothing's changed. It shows it's all a bit, I'll start next week. Oh, yeah, but we've still got 12 weeks. Not the point. Why not get it right now? I'd rather have more time. I'd rather be more prepared. Yeah? You're 32 years old. You're going to have 30 years to party and play house. So that's the bottom line here, people. Yeah? Who knows? I could come on here and tell you that, nah, YB, you're wrong. He's able to smash the pads and This shows, look how ferocious he is. He's always been ferocious on the pads. Yeah? The pads don't hit back. And it's the thing. Look, watch the Usyk fight, yeah? Call me a liar. What happened in the Usyk fight? Usyk came out, popped him in the mouth, and he was shocked. You can see it. He thought, what the fuck? I wasn't expecting this. Yeah? My team haven't prepared me to get popped in the mouth for the last 2 years. We've been hitting the pads and we've been partying with the kids and we've been worrying more about managing the social aspects of my life. Fernando Alonso and my management team have been organising parties and flying kids out and managing. That's the bottom line. AJ's team are more focused on the social aspects of his life and organising. Oh, but I've got the kids flying out on the 16th and I've got the party on the. They're more focused on that than they are the actual topic of than the actual sport of boxing, which is fine, but as I've said before, retire. No one's asking you. People say, YB, you retire then. I'm not asking you to carry on, I can care less. But don't be hanging around, wasting people's time, gassing people up. Oh, YB, he's entitled to have his own life. Well, listen, he can. But don't expect. The problem with you, man, is you, man, want him to have his own life and me not to call a spade a spade. You want me to support the kind of fuckery I see carrying on right now. Not gonna happen. Yeah, not even a bit. I don't know what's happened, but whenever people get successful, it gets weird. And you even heard from Usyk. The same anecdote I give you about George Kambosos. Usyk, after his fight, he says, I can't wait to get back home. I haven't seen my kids for months. Yeah, and I hate to break it to you, but there's a consistent theme. And I mean, for years as well, for centuries, when men go to war, there ain't no kids and wives hanging around the place. Do you know what I'm saying? And for millenniums of battle and war, we know that women and children make the mind weak, man. No good. You need to know what you're fighting for. Having the kids hanging around and having the wife hanging around, that don't make you want to fight. You want to know, you know what I mean? You want to know what you're fighting for at home. Oh, well, AJ ain't hungry. That's the bottom line, people. And there's no amount of training and whacking the pads going to change that until I see it. Now, if he goes in there and they've managed to flick the switch and they've been doing the right things and I'm just barking at the wrong tree, you know what I'll do? I'll come on here and I'll say fair play to you. But until then, all I can do is tell you what I'm seeing. And if this video was supported by other things, like if I hadn't been seeing him partying and playing house and all the other things, then maybe it would, you know what I mean, it'd be more meaningful on that basis. But all in all, this don't really make a difference to me personally. Yeah, I mean, you can't not whack the pads in boxing. What you can do, just touch. I guess you could argue it could be worse. It could be going completely touchy, but still, I mean, like you see AJ doing from a technical aspect, you see AJ doing he's kind of slipping and sliding and all this kind of stepping off, and in the video you see him pivoting and whatnot. I just don't know about all that. That's the thing as well, and that's what I'm saying when I talk about this funny style Fernando cat. Fernando's sitting there calculating all these different, oh look, AJ, I want you to step, jab, slip, pivot, step, and do this and roll. But the thing is, where was all that then? I don't get that, because what we know is, Fruity Fernando, has been in the camp for 2 years, and he's been doing all this funny style shit. So my question is to AJ fans, where was all that slipping and sliding and stepping and rolling and whatever else? Oops. And that tells me that, and people say, oh, YB, you think you're so smart. No, the bottom line is, I am smart, because I know AJ's been with Fernando for 2 years. And what we know is AJ is not high IQ. Or certainly, he hasn't been able to learn all these funny style things that Fernando has been teaching him. And that's why I was saying, let's keep it simple. And look at Alvarez. Yes, Alvarez can slip and slide, but what you notice about Alvarez, yeah? Alvarez is actually straight up and down, really. Yes, he can move at the waist, but he's not, you don't see him robotic. AJ, yeah, here, it's all kind of like jab, slip, roll. A fight doesn't really work like that. And I understand that, yeah, well, we're practicing the skills, but I don't know, it just looks robotic, man. You should be just flowing in there. And when you see Alvarez, yeah, you don't, like Mike Tyson, he was explosive, and he would be able to pivot and find an angle and then get the uppercut and hook off. AJ, at 6'6", and Mike Tyson was 5'8", 5'7", completely different ball game. And even then, look at Alvarez. Alvarez is that small, but you don't see him trying to jump and find angles. You don't need to focus on that. Just keep it simple. You're not Floyd Mayweather, and you're not Mike Tyson. Let's keep it simple. Let's not worry about pivoting and slipping and sliding. Don't get me wrong. We can work on head movement, but head movement is, in my opinion, is more of a static task. It's not about slipping after a particular shot. It's about just having that attribute in the repertoire if you need it. This whole trying to do a 10-piece combination move. Every time I see Fernando Alonso, it's always some extra thing going on. Oh, jab, slip, trying to put 10 things together. Don't make no sense. Keep it simple. Jab and slip. One or two things at a time. At the most, 2 things. If anything, again, look at Alvarez. Alvarez for the main. His guard's up nice and tight, and he's plodding forward. Yeah, he plodding forward. Look at the Golovkin rematch. Plodding forward. You don't see a whole bunch of slipping and sliding. And the thing is, again, if AJ was able to absorb that information and slip and slide and get combinations off in between, fair play, but he can't do that. Keep it simple. Elbows nice and tight. And that's the thing. I've got more videos coming soon, but I've noticed that it's all well and good doing all these things where jab, slip, step, hook, roll. You know what I mean? Pivot. Step off and find the angle. You can see the video there. You're doing all this extra stuff, yeah? And that's all well and good, but meanwhile, I still see signs that his guard's leaky. He's bringing you can even see it when he slips and slides. His hands come down to his waist. Little things like that get me pissed off, because before I'd be doing 10-step choreographed moves that is never going to pull off in a fight. Because you got to remember, what a lot of people don't appreciate about the pads is that pads don't move. Yeah? Usyk isn't, and that's one thing I've always struggled about highly choreographed moves, i.e. jab, slip, step. In my own little experience of boxing, when are you ever going to get them shots off? Because your opponent's always moving. On the pads, it looks good, because your pad man knows, you know what I mean? AJ and Fernando have sat there talking about something they're going to do for 30 minutes, and then they go and do it. But in reality, Usyk going to have his own plan. So you've got 2 random people coming together, and you're never going to get all them. You're never going to get 6 different things off at once. Never going to happen. And that's why people like Lomachenko and whatnot. But really, Lomachenko you don't see Lomachenko doing 10 things at once. He's always doing one thing at once. If he's stepping off, he's stepping off. But you don't see him go. You never see Lomachenko, go jab, step, pivot. You don't see him doing. Show me one time you've seen Lomachenko pull off a 10 choreographed move. You don't see it. It's one thing at a time. If the angle's there, he'll take it. But it's not choreographed. This here is what you call choreographed.com. Every single thing they've worked on, as in, it's one big loop. You're never going to get a 10-step loop off in a fight. Never. But yet, people tell me that having a high guard's, oh, you YB, you think it's so easy. No, what I know is that you need to have basic things correct. Your guard must be high and tight, Alvarez style. And even that doesn't guarantee you're still going to get hit, by the way. I'd still be telling Johnston, accept you're going to get hit tonight. Bottom line, if you can't accept that, you best retire. Accept you're going to get hit clean. Because no matter guard, it's the way it is the game. But what we can do is limit them opportunities. And where we start by limiting them is have the guard. That's the number one thing. High guard, tight guard. Elbows in tight. Not wide and not far out. Right, stick them right on your head. Bottom line. And when I see them little bits of basics going haywire again, it just makes me scratch my head. What are we doing here? 10 choreographed moves, back to back to back to back, but yet your guard leaky. It's amazing. And I get critiqued. Oh, you don't know what you're talking about, YB. Fernando Alonso, he's so good, and look how good the pads look. Yeah, looks good in pads. But it begs the question, if AJ's able to do these choreographed moves, yeah, why wasn't he able to do it against Mr. Plodder, Ruiz? Because all we saw AJ do against Ruiz was gallop backwards and run away, popping a jab. And the reason I bring Ruiz up is the fact that we know Ruiz has very slow feet. So if you're ever going to be able to get off a choreographed kind of jab, slip, step, angle, you'd get it off against Ruiz because he can't move his feet. But Usyk, we know, has got really quick feet. So trying to pin down someone like Usyk and trying to do all these different things at once and move off, and he's just going to stand there, you've got no chance. Big, stiff, big blob, Mr. Blobby, who's slow with his feet, that would have been the best time to get some of that stuff off. Against Usyk, you can forget it. And that's what I've been saying. For this fight, don't worry about no extra stuff. Worry about bending your knees. Have your guard up nice and high, and you're coming forward. Whenever Usyk throws a shot, you're going to parry it, you're going to catch it, and you're going to bang one of your own off. In fact, every one he throws, we're going to go one or two back. Simple as that. If you eat a shot, you're coming back. Bet on yourself. That's what I'll be focusing on. I'll be focusing on not doing 10 different things at once. I'll be focusing on, okay, throw a jab at me, and then coming off something. Practicing catching, practicing parrying, practicing countering off a parry. Because you can do little things like, if someone throws a jab, you can parry it and then whip a hook off it. Or you can parry the jab and bang your own jab. Little thing, just little, keep it simple, one thing at a time. Try and do 15 different things at once and think you're super smart. It looks good, don't get me wrong, it looks good on the video, but you ain't going to get it off. And it shows that Fernando thinks he's so smart. And the problem is, AJ himself is low IQ. Low IQ people, yeah, they see it, and that's what happened. I've heard from it. I've heard from people who know AJ, yeah, and they told me that the reason AJ hired Fernando was because he saw him on Instagram and it looked good. 100%. Fernando's renowned, yeah, for doing cool things on pads. AJ, being ATIQ himself, not very smart, rather than saying, well, I know that's bullshit because it's on Instagram, and Fernando's never trained no one, rather than say that, low IQ AJ said, oh, that looks really good on Instagram. I'll bring him into my camp and make him head trainer. And then we are where we are now. Yeah, and that's why AJ was getting his head boxed off. We went from an athletic phenom to a man scared of his own shadow, getting his ears boxed off by a cruiserweight. And meanwhile, all that was happening, Fernando was saying, great, great, great. I told you before, Fernando can't do anything but say it's great. Because he's not going to say, well, AJ, the shit I've been teaching you on Instagram is bollocks and don't work. He can't say that, can he? He has to say, oh, that's beautiful, it's beautiful. And to be honest, looking at the shock on AJ's face, yeah, when the ref said he'd lost, it shows that he really was baffed. He was Fernando and Rob have proper done a job on him. Done a proper job on him. He was convinced he'd won. Which shows the manipulation, but at the end of the day, everyone's an own man. Yeah? And if AJ ain't got no one around him to tell him, your team's whack, that's on him and them. What can I do? All I can do is tell you exactly what can happen. Yeah? And because what we know is, weren't no one else. It's only been the YB who've been telling people for the last 3 years what can happen. And now we're here. Yeah? I've been saying for years, keep it simple. Yeah? Keep it like Alvarez. You need to be doing all the extra stuff. Nice and simple. Heavy shots. 1s and 2s. Big heavy shots. Because there's no one in the division who can take big heavy shots from Johnston. I wouldn't even worry about combination punching no more, to be honest with you. Looking at how effective Alvarez has been. In the past, I've critiqued Alvarez. I think Alvarez should be punching more. But really, I think keep it simple. 1 or 2 shots at a time. Big heavy shots. Or big either way, big heavy or snappy. 1s and 2s. Hook, uppercut. Yeah? Uppercut, hook. Just nice and 1s and 2s. 1, 2. Jab, uppercut. Jab, hook. All that kind of stuff. Big, nasty shots. Because, trust me, what Alvarez has proven is that Don't take many of them. When you whip a few of them hard ones in, people don't want to know more. People don't want to know no more about it. And to be honest, even in the Usyk fight, in that round 6, I think it was, or round 7, AJ got off a few uppercuts, and Usyk didn't like it. I remember I got gassed at the time. I thought, wow, he don't like it. He backing up. He's scared. But then AJ shut his pants for the rest of the fight. I think he either ran out of gas and or, for whatever reason, he backed off. Well, I think his team were telling him, oh, that's it, nice and light on the feet, get back behind the jab. And that was only 1 or 2 shots, and AJ wasn't even throwing him properly. And that's the point. Why are you trying to do all this choreographing? Watch round 6, watch round 7. You hit him with 1 or 2 good shots and he wasn't really interested no more. That's all it takes. Keep it simple. Guard nice and high. Yeah? Guard nice and high, coming forward. Watching what's coming. Simple as, I'm just telling you, man, what it is. It really is. And I'm not, yeah, it's not as simple as that, but it's as simple as that compared to this crap. Yeah? Things that have to be super complicated. When you've been given God-given gifts, when you've got no power, yeah. And to be honest, even then, look at Fury. Look how successful Fury's been able to be, even though he ain't got no attributes. Because in this generation, in 2021, that's the reason people laugh at me. Oh, YB's a joker. He said AJ could be the best ever. The reason I said AJ could dominate everyone in this current era is because they're so weak. This era is a weak era. Which meant that you don't have to be super duper this, that, the other. All you need to do is be tough. If you can be tough, you can cut through butter most of these cats. Because toughness is a rare commodity these days. And look at Fury. Fury don't have none of the attributes. He can't punch for toffee. Yeah? No power. Chin's shocking, really, when you think about it. No power, no chin. But look what a bit of toughness does. Gets you cutting through the division. Now imagine if AJ had that mental toughness combined with the attributes. It'd be, you know what I'm saying?